Today we are in an interview with Dr. Mohammad, another author of the book The Mind of the World Philosophy Day 2019, sponsored by the Malaysian branch of the World Philosophical Forum and YouTube channel. Doctor, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you to accept this invitation. We're going to talk about your paper, Philosophy and Reality, Evolution and Phenomenon of the Marketing, right?
Yes.
So this is one of the paper which is inside the book. I invite you to read, all of you. So the first question I have is, what is marketing?
Thank you very much. So the term marketing basically is to satisfy, fulfill the customer needs. But to me, the new term or new philosophy of understanding marketing, which is not just we fulfill or meet the customer needs and wants, but we need to delight in the customers, producing the quality product and build long-term relationship with the customers.
Okay, and you know there are so many theories about how programmed are we when we buy things. It's not because we need it, but because we buy with emotions, which is the marketing, is one of the aspects of marketing, you know, creating the need to the people. So how programmed are we? Maybe you can say it in a percentage, or how often we purchase things, but based in our emotions because we're programmed to do so, or maybe a percentage of the free will we use when we buy stuff.
Okay, like it or not, we need to agree that nowadays social media influenced consumer to buy certain product or services. But to me, the power to choose whether to buy or not product is depending on a few factors. The first one is the knowledge of the consumer. So they need to search and looking for the information about certain products. Secondly, the level of education of the consumer. So the higher the level of education, so the customer will be more educated to choose or to make the decision to buy the product. And the third one, which is to me, is the attitude of the consumer. Some of the consumer, especially in Malaysia context, they tend to buy the product online. They tend easily to be influenced by social media. But if the attitude is the change a little bit towards looking for some information or some knowledge about the product, they will help the consumer to have what we call it the purchasing power or power to choose the product.
But it all relies on the consumer,
Yeah, of course not totally relies on the consumer, but the marketers also need to play their role, not to produce or not to sell a product that is harmful to the consumer. For example, like in cosmetic industry, and they cannot put the ingredient of chemical that prohibited or give harmful to the consumer.
So you are talking in your paper about phenomenon, and I agree that what worries me the most, because, for example, in the Western country, we all see advertisement about how milk can improve calcium.
Okay.
But there are recent studies, research, that tells the opposite. But when you say to people that calcium is bad for your health, even though beef is bad for your health, and they have been growing the entire life, understand exactly the opposite from marketing, which is not only made by public private companies, but public organizations. It's like, you know, you're telling them about things that they cannot not only can understand, but they get mad about it.
Yeah.
It's like telling a Muslim that they should eat pork, something like that. So that's why I am really interested on this topic about how programmed are we to do things that even though you tell me that it's not good, you know, I've been growing my entire life understanding the opposite from private companies and public organizations.
Okay.
So in this context, how difficult is for a person to get out this scenario of being, I mean, the word should be programmed from marketing?
So,
How difficult it is for us to get out of this
you mean in terms of consumer aspect?
in terms of consumer? Yeah.
So like I mentioned in my paper, in terms of evangelism marketing, which is evangelism is beyond the viral marketing, which is the companies created the customer to believe about the product or their services. So back to your question, how the consumer can get out from this, what we call it, this phenomenon. So like I mentioned previously, there are a few elements that will help the consumer to not to just keep track in this situation. The first one in terms of knowledge. So now is the digital era, whereby customer can get the information in their fingertips using the mobile phone, so they can Google, search out the information through the internet. So as a consumer, they need to play their role to get some information, some knowledge, and some detail about the products. Otherwise, they will keep track in this, what we call it, marketing strategies by the marketers.
I believe it's more a sort of government fault, not private company, but they just want to sell their products.
Yeah.
For instance, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
That's one of the most warmest things I know. It do a lot of damage when you consume Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, you can find everywhere. Government don't care about it. So how can the government help people to understand or acquire this knowledge they know in order not to participate or be programmed to buy things because they supposedly to sell happiness? You know, so how can the government help to mitigate this marketing system? Is it necessary, or is it the government duty to do it?
So in Malaysia, we have the government that look at on these issues, which is what we call it KPD and KK, which is their function is to monitor what is not good practice done by the marketers. They are protecting the consumer interest. So we have the government or government agency that looking on that matter in Malaysia.
Right. In your paper, you tell us about 4 stages of the marketing, right?
Yeah.
The evolution of the marketing.
Yeah.
How do you see the marketing is going through the future? New stages,
Yeah.
stage, do you think, what should the next stage should be, in your opinion?
Okay, if I can recap, there are 4 evolution of the marketing started by marketing 1.0, which is focused on product driven. Second one, customer centric. The third evolution, which is focused on value driven, and the fourth evolution focused on digital economy, which is a combination of offline and online marketing. But I foresee in the futures, which is the marketing will be focused towards digital marketing, which is towards more on social media. And I foresee also in the future the marketing which is will focus more towards storytelling and video marketing. So YouTube will be the ultimate channel in the next few years for marketing.
Great. And how do you think marketing can help us build or bridge peace and harmony in the world?
Yeah, like I mentioned in my paper, which is the marketers need to always think in their minds in terms of how to satisfy the consumer, produce quality product to the consumer, delighting the consumer, and build long-term relationship with the consumer. I think that's will help to build a peaceful and harmony in the world.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Mohammad. Thank
welcome.
you all for being here with us.
Yeah.
Please read the paper inside the book The Mind of the World Philosophy Day 2019, sponsored by the Malaysian branch of the World Philosophical Forum. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, welcome.
Thank you all.
Gracias.
De nada.